And it's so nice to have you along. Thank you, Canada, for joining us here at the Weather Network on your Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Jaclyn Whittal. Here's some of the top stories that we're watching. The Canadian temperature tumble. Yes, for those out west that have been enjoying a very, very nice spell of warm weather, say goodbye to it. All good things must come to an end. We've been preparing you for it, so I'm sure you've got the winter coats at the ready. Ontario snow, that could disrupt the commute today. We'll talk about that. And the Atlantic provinces awaiting again another big storm. So how many nor'easters will it be by the time this season is done? We'll keep a close eye on that. Let's take a look at your systems right across the country. Watching a developing low down towards the southwest United States. That will play a role in our weather into the next 3 or 4 days. We are watching a bit of energy up through Edmonton. That'll bring some snow. I'll talk about that coming up. And then the big story really is this Alberta Clipper that's moving through Ontario right now, with it bringing some snow. A lot of the snow that we're seeing on radar this morning is actually not being reported at the ground. So it might, if you're holding your smartphone and you're looking at radar, you might say, where's the snow? Sometimes that happens. It's what we call virga, I guess, where it doesn't really make you actually make contact with the surface, but there is moisture in the atmosphere. Let's watch this system too, as it might clip the Avalon Peninsula in Newfoundland. We'll talk about that coming up as well. Minus 35 in Yellowknife this morning, so if that's a hint of the cold air that's on the way, I don't know what is. Minus 21, Fort McMurray minus 8 in Edmonton. Let's show you Calgary this morning. Oh, good morning to you, Deb. Boy, you've been in Arizona, and then you went back home to Calgary, and you were basking in the sunshine there. I see you found your winter coat again.
Well, you're really going to need to have the parka on first thing in the morning and keep it on throughout the day.
You sure are. Now, Deb, before we let you go, we let Deb go, but I just want to say that she's got a great story coming up in a few minutes on the show. She got a chance to interview National Geographic's Adventurer of the Year, so I can't wait to hear some of these stories, so stick around for that. Let's go to that Clipper in Ontario. Notice the widespread snowfall. That is going to affect your commute home. If you live in Toronto, all of that is expected to push to the East Coast. We'll be back with much more. This is fascinating stuff. Nice to have you along on this Thursday. I'm meteorologist Jaclyn Whittal. Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon? Pretty remarkable, but have you ever been to the Grand Canyon where you see a weather inversion like this, where we get low-level clouds sort of trapped in the lower valleys? Pretty incredible. Yeah, the Grand Canyon's incredible anyway. All right, now today, if you're going there, you might be dealing with some cloud cover. You can see this low developing down through the Four Corner states, and some cloud cover and snow moving into Ontario next. Mike Arsenault's been in Kitchener this morning. Here's the latest. That's right. Here's the snow amounts that we're forecasting. 5 to 10 centimeters for areas like Kitchener, Waterloo, London, you're included, Kincardine, Barrie, 10 to 15 for eastern Ontario. And then once the storm passes, we're looking at the potential for some lake effect snow, because temperatures at a kilometer and a half above the surface or above the lake will be cold enough. We need a 13 degrees Celsius difference. And this temperature gradient is showing that. Temperature contrast bringing in some very cold Arctic air. But first, must-see video. Check this out. This is from the East Coast. Yes, pretty incredible stuff. All right, so I just want to talk a little bit. You know, the temperatures are dropping. We've addressed that part of the story. I want to show you what happened with that storm. 51 centimeters fell in Moncton. Blizzard-like conditions, no question. 117 kilometer-an-hour wind gusts. Fredericton, 28 to 36 centimeters approximately. You know, Moncton probably overachieved a little bit in the snowfall part of the forecast, but other than that, I think the Weather Network did a really good job at forecasting this. So kudos to our forecasters who are upstairs in the building. We always say, oh, the forecaster's upstairs. All right, let's take a look here Friday. A look ahead. We're watching another Clipper that will move through the Maritimes. We are watching that move through Newfoundland on Saturday. This storm that Dr. Doug and I were watching, models are now picking up on a large storm along the eastern seaboard, but it should dive just south of you in Ontario, so you'll dodge the snow this time. All right, minus 16 for Saskatoon this morning. Good morning to you in Fort McMurray, minus 21. And look at the Arctic air up in Yellowknife, minus 35. Winnipeg will be at about minus 17. We continue to track the boil water advisory that is in place. Here's the latest on that particular story. All right, sounds like an interesting story. Here's another one. This is an article on our website. This family in Ajax that set up an outdoor ice rink, of course, was under a lot of criticism among their neighbors, and they were asked to actually take it down. This is an incredible story.
Yeah, this is a story. You can read the full details online at theweathernetwork.com, but there has been a new development. Here's Michelle Mackey with details.